Pre-order the Clownfish TV comic book right now on Indiegogo. Go to clownfishtvcomic.com. That's clownfishtvcomic.com. This is a fun collection of all new comic strips based on dumb stuff we've said on the show. Again, that's clownfishtvcomic.com. You're gonna have to hurry. We're only taking pre-orders for a limited time. Now we're gonna get back into the show. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video, so we're going to talk about some tech. We're going to talk about digital media. We're going to talk about BuzzFeed doing very, very badly. Worse than they were before. They just got their Q1. Geez, no, I don't want to sign up. Their Q1 revenue results in, and it declined 27%. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how Disney almost bought BuzzFeed. They almost bought BuzzFeed back in the day, and they could have had it for a mere $600 million. That was back when they were on a buying spree. I remember they bought Maker Studios, and we had another channel that was in Maker Studios back then, and they paid like $500 million for it, and they didn't get anything out of it. And they thought they could basically buy PewDiePie and Markiplier and all these guys. It didn't work out very well for them. Disney doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to digital media, but nobody seems to know what they're doing when it comes to digital media, right? So we're going to talk about the demise of BuzzFeed. MTV News is shutting down as well. No, I don't want this. Jeez, everybody. Part of the reason these blogs are dying is all the damn pop-ups and all the ad blockers. They're all so desperate for revenue that every site you go to has like 50,000 pop-ups. Yeah, you gotta disable your ad blocker. But yeah, MTV News is shutting down too, and I forgot it was even a thing. Not worth doing a separate video on that, but what the hell, we'll roll into the death of digital journalism. And it's kind of interesting because yesterday it was announced that Tucker Carlson was coming to Twitter, which is really gonna upend things. So regardless of what you think about Tucker Carlson, having a media personality like that using Twitter exclusively, I guess, for video is definitely going to be a game changer for that platform. And that's kind of what I think Musk was looking at. So I think Twitter might actually wind up being the go-to for news, but actual like unbiased news. I don't know. As long as they're even-handed and they hold all of their media personalities to the same standards, right? Regardless of what side of the aisle they're on or whatever. But it's very clear that digital journos don't have the stranglehold on Twitter that they did for the longest time. So let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. And also check out clownfishtv.com. Speaking of digital journalism, we are trying to build a pop culture news website that is reminiscent of those you would have found in like 2008, 2010. All the updates for our videos and articles are there. I did tie in yesterday. I did tie in the RSS feed to the YouTube community, and it went a little bonkers. I've definitely pulled back on that. But yeah, check it out, clownfishtv.com. We don't have an ad blocker notification thing on there, whatever. All right, so this is coming from Variety. BuzzFeed Q1 revenue declines 27%. The CEO says the company is leaning into AI and creators after the BuzzFeed News shutdown. BuzzFeed's revenue was down substantially in the first 3 months of 2023, dropping 27% in that period, and that's with the newsroom. And the company's projected sales would be off as much as 29% for Q2. Given the decline, last month BuzzFeed announced it was shuttering its unprofitable BuzzFeed News division and laying off about 180 people across the organization, about 15% of its employee base. We've reached an inflection point in digital media. No shit. Over the last few months, we have made significant strategic and organizational changes, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it before. But now they said by leaning into creators and AI. According to a BuzzFeed spokesperson, the company was not replacing any jobs because of AI. BuzzFeed recently started using AI to assist in creating some content, including quizzes. According to an SEC filing, BuzzFeed expects to incur between 7 and 11 million in charges related to the layoffs. Yeah, so this is bad. They said for the second quarter of 2023, BuzzFeed expects overall revenue in the range of 76 million, down 24%, between 24 and 29%. It's this company's done, guys. And I don't know if they're going to get a cash infusion. Like apparently Vice is being sold off to one of its debtors for 400 million, which is a fraction of what the company was valued at. But this is interesting. There was this article on The Wrap talking about Ben Smith, and I guess he's got a book called Traffic. It's about the rise and fall of digital media. And what really jumped out at me was Disney. Disney was also going to buy Twitter. Disney was going to buy this. Disney was going to buy that. Disney is going to buy everything, right? So in 2011, BuzzFeed was a smaller company. Facebook apparently was looking into buying it. I don't know what happened. Had Jonah Peretti sold BuzzFeed to Facebook, it would have gone away. That's true. It just would have been news. So let's talk about the deal with Disney that BuzzFeed passed up. This will be looked upon as like the dumbest decision in the history of digital media, but Disney was interested in us and offered ultimately something north of 600 million to buy BuzzFeed in 2014. Obviously, that would have been a great exit. Yeah, but these companies, they want to be valued at like billions of dollars. And at that point, they were still going up and up and up and up, right? The problem was that Jonah and Z Frank, head of video at BuzzFeed, weren't people who went into it for the exit. They weren't interested in that. And we were obsessed with what we were building. We had the wind at our back, and we had all this arrogance of that moment. We thought we could build a big independent company. Ultimately, the job Disney wanted to hire us to do was to modernize ABC News' digital presence. I don't think any of us would have been perfectly good at that. And it was so profoundly not what we had signed up for. I mean, in some sense, it was very stupid, a very stupid, selfish decision. So yeah, that's really interesting that Jonah Peretti, I'm like, why is this guy still here? Why is he still running BuzzFeed? He's going down with the ship. And apparently he never was looking for an exit, but all their investors were. All the investors in these companies are looking for an exit. That's why they pump all this venture capital into it. And they're like, okay, what's your exit strategy? And if you've ever talked with any investor about any business, and I have before, they always ask you what your exit strategy is and what your timeline is, because the goal is always to sell the company. Get the company to a certain size, give it some curbside appeal, and then sell it off to some other sucker and let them deal with whatever the next step of the company is, right? That's always been the case. But speaking of the demise of media, I am shocked, absolutely shocked that MTV News still exists. So they shut down MTV News, and I honestly thought it went away with Kurt Loder, but we'll get this in here real quick. So MTV News was shut down yesterday. On Tuesday, Paramount Global pulled the plug on MTV News, a cable TV staple from the late 80s through the early aughts, and was particularly well known, especially to Gen X and millennials, for chronicling the heady music culture of the 90s. Again, without Kurt Loder, without Kennedy, I didn't even think it was a thing. Ironically, both of those personalities tend to lean conservative. Kurt Loder and especially Kennedy are more conservative, and they were kind of forming the opinions, helping to form the opinions of Gen X, of which I'm a part of. So very interesting. I guess that it's gone, but MTV hasn't been MTV in like 2 decades, right? So I'm gonna wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later. Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.